Hola Tampa Bay, this is Jody Gonzalez of Latin Times Magazine and Latin Times TV. We're here at the Outback Pro Golfing Tournament, and guess what? We're catching up with George Lopez, featuring him as 2010's Latin Times National Latino Mover and Shaker. Catch up with us. First and foremost, I want to ask you about the Outback Tournament.
I don't come from a golfing background, but I got to tell you the truth. I didn't know my father, and I was corajudo when I was a kid, and I quit at everything. And the one thing that has taught me more than any living relative is the game of golf, because you can get mad and you can quit or you could cheat, but if you're honest and you're calm and your temperament and you have respect, it's not how you play the game, but what you learn, really. I mean, I'm not the best golfer. I don't want to be. But for a guy that used to get mad at everything, to go out there and have fun and sign things and be around people is a major, major accomplishment for me from where I came from.
Who here or deceased is a Latino role model for you?
I think it would have to be Cesar Chavez. I think what he has done, and Dolores Huerta, living role model, but only for the rights of people, for the hard-working people, for the people who run this country from the ground up. Unfortunately, through his fasting and hunger strikes, deteriorated himself in his body, but his legacy continues, and that blood runs through all of us. And he's got a fantastic family who carry on his legacy, and we work from the ground up. And if you look at this country and you look at Latinos, we're at work earlier and stay later than everybody else. That goes without saying. So you can try to build whatever border, and it's short-sighted, because this country cannot run without us. Como el aceite, no? Or the oil. The machine will run regardless, pero necesita aceite or it burns out. So we need it. Y todos los Latinos, todos. There's so many different Latinos that there's almost biased within the cultures through Cuba and Argentina, Puerto Rican, Mexican, El Salvadorian, people from Peru, Ecuador. There's so many. People just say Hispanic. Hispanic is a disservice. And when it's a census year, they should allow us to put poquito Native American, Cuban. I mean, we should have 4 lines instead of a box.
No, I put where it said mark white flag or whatever. I put brown.
I put Chicano and I put beige. I think Chicano was on the census, which is surprising.
I know.
Chicano. But I took my DNA. I'm 4% black, 9% Asian, 32% Native American, and the rest Mexican. That's puro mestizo from, I can just see all the settlers going through Mexico, chinitos making love with a Mexican. Negro ahí watching, hey, let me get in. And then all of them make George Lopez.
What camera? Let's see. What you got?
Cabezón y, con mucha cara.
What would you say is your biggest challenge in life? What was it, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I had kidney disease. This is a big thing for Latinos too, because I was sick my whole life and we didn't go to the doctor. But with me, I wet the bed when I was a kid, and my grandmother would say, don't drink any water after 8, concentrate, don't let them sleep in the bed. Instead of taking me to the doctor, they would have found out that I had a birth defect. So in our culture, when somebody does something wrong, either they cry out of one eye, or they wet the bed, or they are sleepy, there's a cause for that. And I could have saved myself a lot of heartache if I had gone to the doctor, but I came from a family that didn't go to the doctor. And we come from a culture that doesn't go to the doctor. That's why we're not so concerned about whether Obama's healthcare plan passed, as long as there's 7-Up and Vaporub and all that other stuff. But we need to take better care of ourselves every day and our children. And it starts with what we eat. Then it goes back to the farm workers.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Can you tell us about your family?
My wife? My wife gave me my kidney 5 years ago, Monday, April 19th. So, she, I said before, saved me from myself, because, drank a lot and disrespected people and women, and you just learn that the hard way, because it wasn't taught that we need to respect people as people, and not that the woman's place is this place, or not to respect them, or their opinion doesn't matter. I married a strong Cuban woman, and I'm happy that I did, because that's my partner, and She taught me to cuela, to go around people and to talk when I didn't want to talk. Now I have a talk show. I'm a guy that 20 years ago wouldn't talk to anybody that was in a room full of people. And now I have a talk show, and that's connected to her. You know, she, almost Slumdog Millionaire could have been a movie made in Mexico. I mean, you look at that movie, that's people from India, that's a Mexican story. It's everybody's story. That's the beauty of it. We're all Slumdog Millionaires. We all learn the hard way, you know.
What message would you give to young Latinos or Latinas that are struggling in life and have a dream? What would you say to them about pursuing that dream?
Well, everything is possible. You have a president of color, you have a Latino talk show host, you have actresses and actors and politicians and doctors and lawyers, a Supreme Court justice who's a Latina. That's fantastic. So there's no limitations on what you want to do. Whatever, a fireman, you want to be a nurse, an X-ray technician, you want to be a law assistant, you can be whatever you want. The only thing that you have to do is motivate yourself. I can't wait for you to help me. We have to help ourselves. And so many times we wait around for somebody to help us when we got to do something for ourselves. And it starts in a small step, one small step, asking a question, taking some advice, asking for help, which we never do. We never ask for help.
Right. Again, it goes back to our culture.
It goes back. We gotta get thinking that our pride out of the way and thinking that asking for help is a weakness. It's an asset, not a weakness.
Who would you think, a Latino or Latina, could run for president in the next 8 years and actually win?
You know, I'm not sure where we are politically. You know, that's a good question. I have to think about that.
Would it surprise you if I tell you that one of the persons that they mentioned was you? Some of the guys that I interviewed?
I wouldn't pass the background check. But I'm flattered. For all the skeletons out. No, but you know, to be friends with the President of the United States and to be welcomed into the White House as a Chicano is great. And the Fiesta Latina that we did for PBS, to have that music played at the White House and to have a president that appointed a Latina Supreme Court justice because she was the most qualified, not because she was Latina. It just so happens. But that's changed in the right direction. So when you have all these tea parties and all these people who are one way, they can't forget that there's another way too. And the people who don't like change are the ones that are throwing tea parties and fighting the system. You know, I wish I had time to take off during the day and go have a tea party and complain about Obama. My ass is working.
Sorry. I hear you. I want to be able to send you this magazine when it's done. It's going to feature the top 10 Latinos in Tampa, men, and then obviously you on a national level.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to just flash it. Do you think you could flash it for me on TV?
Right here?
Yeah, this one. On your show, not on mine.
Oh,
mine only has these people.
Yeah.
That would be great, right? You like it?
I promise I'll flash this on my show. I got it out.
And that concludes our exclusive interview with George Lopez here at the Outback Pro Golf Tournament. It's 2010 and it's a great year for Latin Times. Make sure you check out his interview on Latin Times Magazine, which should be out shortly. And in the meanwhile, check out our website. We love you and I'll see you soon.